Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your February 2018 general readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers. As always, thank you for continuing to follow my YouTube channel for those of you that do, and for liking, sharing, and subscribing as well. And to my regular and new clients as well, thank you for continuing to keep me so busy with personal one-on-one readings. And if any of you out there are interested in scheduling a private reading with me, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the About button for more information and my contact details. You can also find those contact details attached to the description of every video that I post. You can email me directly at maggie_mcguire@gmail.com. Or for those of you who are not looking for the more traditional intensive readings, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. That gives you more immediate, quick response from me, as long as I'm not sleeping or otherwise occupied, of course. It's a smartphone app which is really cool. If you have a quick question you want to ask, or a quick couple of questions you just need a fast answer to, you need to make a decision really quick, or there's just something you want to look at and you're not looking for the more in-depth readings, you can find me there and open it up for a question and answer read or a little short reading via text. And they also have a video chat option too, so you can choose that as well. It's a quicker, more convenient way of getting a quick read for those of you who don't want the traditional ones. But for the traditional ones, you would just contact me via email and we'd set something up. I do a wide variety of readings in just about all the main areas of life. And I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do. So turnaround time is usually pretty fast. Within a couple of weeks or so, we can schedule a reading live or recorded. So if you're interested, you can hit me up on either of those. All right, let's move right into this. This reading is for the fire sign of Leo for the month of February 2018. I apologize ahead of time for sounding a bit raspy and froggy. I'm just getting over a very bad cold bronchial thing. It's the season here, I suppose, cold and flu season. So excuse me if I sound like a frog. So Leo, what does February 2018 potentially have in store for you guys? Make sure to check your rising and your moon sign videos as well for additional clarification, or they may resonate a little more predictively for you. At this time of the month, we're looking at the month in its entirety, February 2018 for Leo. Okay, Leo. Let's see, we have for the first week the Two of Swords and the Magician. And then we have the Sun and the Page of Wands. For the second week, the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles around the third week. And then towards or at the end of the month, we have the Four of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. Overall energy, theme, and guidance for the month is the Three of Pentacles. Now, time, as I always say, is somewhat fluid. So even though I pulled 2 cards for each week, you know, there's a lot of you watching, so of course it's not going to resonate the same in the same depth and intensity. Sometimes not even in the same area. It could be work and career for some of you, love and romance for others. Time is kind of fluid, so it could be a day or two in either direction. So Leo, it looks like you enter the month of February or end January. I am recording these in the last week of January. Looks like you're entering the month of February maybe feeling a little stuck about something, because we have the Two of Swords and the Magician. I love that the Magician follows and clarifies the Two of Swords. Swords is air energy. It's all about how we think and our belief systems and learning, illumination, clarity, truth. It's all about what goes on up in our heads, that air energy, mental, cerebral, intellectual energy. It also affects the way that we communicate, because what we think is what we speak. So the Two of Swords can represent feeling stuck, needing to make a decision, needing to move on something, but not knowing which way to go, not knowing which path to choose, which the blindfold can sometimes imply. And often the Two of Swords also represents feeling stuck because there is something that you need to make a decision or a choice about, something you need to deal with, something you need to move forward on, but you don't want to. There's a sense of reluctance and resistance. So it's kind of like keeping your head in the sand and not wanting to deal with something, even though it's something you need to deal with. The challenge in the Two of Swords and then, procrastinating or ignoring something that needs to be dealt with is it's always kind of nagging at us. And in retrospect, when we deal with those things, we often feel so much better afterwards. And it's like, why didn't I do that earlier? Because there's always this sort of nagging internal sense of pressure. And I'm getting that for a lot of you. I feel like for a lot of you Leos, at the end of January, beginning of February, there's something that you need to do, something that you need to address and deal with. But there's this sense of reluctance and resistance. And I feel like it's coming out of maybe Leo, although this isn't, you know, an archetypical sign of the traditional Leo character traits. You know, Leos are known for being rather brave and courageous. They're also a fixed sign. I think that you may be feeling like whatever it is you need to deal with, you're not capable of, or you're not good enough, or you're not smart enough, or you're not, you know, brave enough to deal with it. It's something that's producing a sense of fear and anxiety, and you're kind of afraid to move into it. The fact that the Two of Swords is clarified and accompanied by the Magician is great, though, because number one, it's a major arcana card, so significant, profound energy and advice. The Magician is a card that speaks of being powerful, being independent, being powerful, needing very little, if any, help, because that's who the Magician is. He's very good at his craft. He's reached a point in his career, in his craft, in his experience, where he's very knowledgeable because of the path that he's walked to get here. He's practiced long and hard. He's learned through trial and error, success and failure both. And he's reached a point where he has all the skills, all the tools, all the knowledge, all the experience, all the wisdom. It's a very independent sort of card. And it's guidance and advice that says, whatever it is that you're having some fear and anxiety about moving into, dealing with, whether it's something in work and career. I feel like for a lot of you, it's in that concrete Pentacles, earth energy part of your life. But for some of you, it could be spiritual or relationship as well. You do have everything that it takes. You are powerful and capable. You have the knowledge, the tools, the skill, the experience, or the ability to acquire those in order to act and to address whatever it is that you need to deal with. If the Magician has a challenge, Leo, it is that he's very independent. He's been going his own way for a long time, doing things his own way, and so he feels like that's the best way to do it. So his challenge sometimes isn't working well with other people, is in compromise, negotiation, maybe following somebody else's advice or guidance. So kind of keep that in the back of your mind as food for thought as well. It's a very independent, powerful card. You are able to address and deal with any challenges that lie in front of you, but be careful that you know, if you need help, you can reach out and ask for help, and when you do, you know, take advice and guidance from other people who are there to help you. Now the rest of the month looks quite good. It looks like you kind of transition out of that that kind of stuck, fearful energy rather quickly, I think, a lot of you. And you have 4 Pentacles cards here, 2 Wands and 1 Swords. So you have a lot of energy in the earth area sector part of your life, which is what Pentacles represents. Pentacles is Pentacles is governed by the element of earth, and so it usually deals with that part of our life that deals with earthly, concrete, day-to-day life sort of things: job, career, money, resources, property, assets, etc. Those tangible things that we can see and touch and feel, or it refers to what we do in our day-to-day life to kind of keep our life together, earn money, etc. So I feel like for a lot of you, there's this energy, and what you're dealing with is in that part of your life. So around the second week or so, give or take, we have the Sun and the Page of Wands. I love the Sun kind of coming up. Because when the Sun comes out, it's a major arcana card, and it's probably one of the best, if not the best, in the deck. It always uplifts all the positive energy of the surrounding cards in the spread, and it can lessen and sometimes even negate any challenging energy. It releases restrictions or loosens restrictive energy. It uplifts, it comes out, it illuminates, it clarifies, it provides solution and relief where there previously was none. If you're looking for answers, solution, help, it brings that, or brings the opportunity for that. If finances have been restrictive, or you feel, again, and it's right next to that Two of Swords, that stuck energy. When the Sun comes out, it's always about things loosening, things being uplifted, energy kind of lifting up and releasing those restrictive energies. Now, why? Well, it's paired and accompanied, clarified by the Page of Wands. So here we have more fire energy, your element. Fire is the energy that the element that governs one, so it's about creating and manifesting and building. It's very action oriented and fluid. Pages can represent young people and children. They often represent messages, which is what I'm getting here for you, Leo. I feel like, you're in this kind of stuck energy. There may be something in front of you that you need to deal with. Maybe something to do with job, work, career, or money, some kind of money aspects in your life. We are kind of looking at that tax season. You may be kind of afraid of maybe dealing with that, or dealing with some kind of something to do with that concrete day-to-day earthly energy in your life. I feel like for some of you it's got something to do with money and details. It looks like around the second week or so that there's some kind of messages coming in that are very exciting, and they kind of bring this feeling of heaviness and restrictiveness. It begins to lift, to loosen, to lighten up. Things begin to lighten up a bit. And I feel like it's related to actually help, or the opportunity to get help in dealing with whatever it is you're having difficulty with. It certainly makes you feel much more free. I feel like for a lot of you, you're taking the initial steps to making a decision, a choice that previously you've been afraid of, moving into an area that you've been very hesitant, or you've had a lot of anxiety and stress about and you didn't want to deal with, because for some reason I feel like a lot of you are coming from this place where I can't do this, I'm going to mess it up, that kind of energy. It's not inherent to Leos, but hey, we all have our times, right? Good times, bad times. We all fall into self-doubt and anxiety sometimes. It looks like there's some news and messages coming in that make you feel excited, that kind of lift that sense of being stuck, and make you feel kind of enthusiastic and plugged in and capable and kind of moving forward again. Now, again, around the middle third week or so, we have combination of the Page and Knight of Pentacles, so lots more earth energy. It looks like that week it's going to be all focused, or there's going to be a large a main focus in that day-to-day concrete area of your life, and it looks like there's more messages and news coming in with the Page of Pentacles. Pages also represent being at the introductory stage of something, because they're pages, they're children, and in the medieval times they were young people, children, who were used as messengers. So it can have that student apprenticeship. You're at the start of a new path where you're learning new things, new information and messages. The Page of Pentacles can also represent being at the beginning stages of just kind of having your eyes open to how things work in the concrete world, or how things work with a certain thing or a certain area in your life in a real sort of hands-on way. Like if you had gone right from high school into college, still living at home, and you're graduating, you're moving out, you're out in the real world now, and all of a sudden you're starting to get your eyes open and a deeper understanding and awareness of how it actually is to, live in the world, be a grown-up, pay bills, all of that kind of stuff. It's having your eyes open and coming to a deeper, more understanding of how something actually functions, how it works. And it's accompanied by the Knight of Pentacles. Knights often, they can represent the speed at which a situation moves. Knights are usually known for being rather fast because they're knights. They go charging off, spontaneous, impulsive. They can be very fixated. They are the bringers, the deliverers of the tarot, and they often represent offers and opportunities that are coming in, or that you're offering or being asked to act upon. And this would be a concrete offer or opportunity, and I'm feeling a strong help energy off of this. So it's kind of like, and I feel like this is all kind of connected to the same thing. It's like the running theme for you for the month of February 2018, Leo. Getting out of the stuck energy, moving into an area, making some decisions, and dealing with something that you're afraid of. There's some, but I don't feel like you stay in that very long. There's news messages coming in. I feel like there's an offer. For some of you, there's an offer of help coming in, but I feel like it comes because you initiate something. It's like you're like, okay, I'm afraid of dealing with this. I'm afraid of making a decision. I'm afraid of going into it and seeing what it really is and learning about it. I don't know if I can do this or not. But you take the initial steps anyway. Some of you, in doing that, may receive unexpected outside help or offers of help in dealing with this, which really, really take a lot of the pressure off of you. Some of you, a part of what you're doing in dealing with this is going to someone else and asking for help. I have this thing I need to deal with, or this thing I need to do or tackle. and I'm afraid I don't know enough how to do it. Can you help me, please? And that offer is there, that help is there, and it really, really, really takes a lot of the pressure off of you. And they help you deal with the details, because I'm getting details, which is why I think for a lot of you, I mean, you can't apply the same energy to the emotional and relationship area of your life, although I think that relationships or emotions are tied up in this anyway. Although I'm feeling I mean, you know, there's a lot of you watching. The specifics and details are going to vary for everybody who watches general videos, but the energy remains the same, whatever area of your life that it's in. I just feel like for a lot of you that are going to be watching this, Leos, Sun, Moon, or Rising, I'm getting like paperwork, details, money, finance. Could be, I feel taxes for some of you too. We are kind of entering into that season. You know, maybe you've not been dealing with things, or maybe you hadn't dealt with things in the past, and so you know there's a bit of a mess to deal with, and you're afraid of that. It's like you're afraid you're going to be overwhelmed. But this help, I feel like a lot of you actually reach out and ask for help, and it is there for you, and it really helps you a lot. And there's another person or an opportunity for another person to help you deal with this in a very hands-on, you know, look, this is how you do it, and this is, you know, this is where you go, and this is the paperwork you need to fill out, and this is how you do it. It could be in relationships as well. I'm honestly just not feeling that energy for the majority of you for February 2018, Leos. Which is why, if that's what you're looking for, we always ask, you know, advise you to watch your rising and your moon signs if this doesn't resonate for you. But it's there, this help is there, and you're actually learning, particularly in the middle third week or so of the month, you're actually hands-on learning how to deal with this, this thing that you've been kind of afraid of. And it's almost as if, which is the case in life a lot of times, not all of the time, but a lot of the time, we're afraid to deal with something. We're afraid to make a decision. We're afraid of moving into something. We're afraid of tackling something because we feel we don't have enough experience or knowledge or information, and we're going to mess it up somehow, or we have a mess to deal with, and we're afraid to see how bad it is. But actually getting in there, and that keeps us stuck, immobilized. Fear keeps us immobilized. It's actually by having the courage, which you have loads of, Leo, to move into it and go, okay, I'm just going to see what this is and just deal with it somehow. And it's like you get help, you ask for help, it's there, and you're like, okay, well, yes, I have to deal with this, but oh my gosh, I feel so much better off about it. This pressure is relieved, and you know what? I can do this. I am learning how to do this, and it's not impossible like I thought it was, and it's not this huge source of fear and anxiety that I thought it was, because you're moving through it. You're being that lovely, strong, courageous Leo. So at or towards the end of February 2018, Leo, we have a beautiful combination of energy here. We have the Four of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. So the Four of Wands is a celebratory card, more fire energy here. And in celebratory, it can represent an actual celebratory event, like a party, a get-together. It can be something formal, like a marriage, a wedding, an anniversary party, a graduation, a work event, you know. It's a celebratory energy. It can be something casual, like getting together with friends, dinner, coffee, drinks, whatever. There's usually a theme around it, but it also, this energy reminds us of the lovely, simple joys and the gratitude that we have about being with friends and family and kind of celebrating with them and celebrating the culmination of something. It's also called the Happy Surprise card. So some of you could just be spending time with friends and family. It could be that that's where this help is coming from, and it just kind of pulls you back and reminds you how lucky you are, and kind of underscores that you know how important these lovely simple joys of being with people who get us, who love us, who care about us, who are there to help and support us. The Four of Wands is also referred to under another nickname, the Happy Surprise card, because the Four of Wands, when it shows up, it typically represents a happy surprise or an unexpected blessing coming our way. And even though, okay, so we know it's coming now because here's the unexpected blessing, Happy Surprise card, it's still going to be unexpected. It's still going to take you off guard. It's something you couldn't have planned for. But it's a blessing, it's a happy surprise, and it could be at a get-together or event of some kind. Usually when this card comes up, if you get any invitations over this month, don't turn them down, because you never know what might happen, even if you think it's not your thing. And it's accompanied by the Queen of Pentacles. So for some of you, this could represent another individual. Usually court cards represent you on an energetic level, or another individual. So for some of you, this could represent that this lovely celebratory energy and, you know, being really connected to somebody else, and this unexpected blessing and surprise could come from or in connection with an earth sign individual. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. They are showing up as a female, but they could be male. So for some of you, it could be that you you know, meet this person maybe at a get-together or party or through friends or something. It could be that they're connected with this offer or opportunity, this help that's coming. I feel like for the majority of you, however, this is you energetically at the end of the month. The Four of Wands, that happy surprise, feeling connected with the special people in your life, and feeling this energy yourself of the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles on an energetic level, I mean, this is somebody who's grounded, stable, secure. Queens and Kings represent individuals who've reached the mastery of their suit. This is that concrete earth energy, so money, finances, home, property. This is somebody who's very good with dealing with the day-to-day structure of the world we live in, working a job, running a home, you know, she's the kind of person that works a full-time job, or maybe has a business, or she could even be a full-time homemaker. But everything that she does, she seems so capable and efficient. She's also a very great caretaker and nurturer in those very good physical hands-on ways. The house always looks good. She always looks good, even if she doesn't always. I mean, who does always, right? You know, she makes these great dinners, throws together these little dinner parties at the last minute. You know, she volunteers twice a week at her local whatever. The roses are always trimmed, the lawn is always mowed. It's an example, an analogy, and she makes it look effortless because she's just really good with the hands-on part of living in the world, dealing with things, taking care of herself, the people around her, everything that she needs to in that earthly world. So energetically, it's a very capable, very solid, stable, stabilizing energy. In money and finances, it represents somebody who's solid, stable, reliable, has a good foundation underneath her or him. Because she's good at that. She's learning to be good at that, or she's worked hard to become good at that. So at the end of the month, it looks like, and again, I feel like even though there's, you know, of course, lots of other things going on in the course of your life over a month, the focus feels like it's on, you know, something to do with job, work, career, money, finances, taxes, details in that area of your life. It's under that Pentacles umbrella. You're afraid a bit, you know, to recap, you may feel stuck, like you can't deal with it, or you know that there's maybe a bit of a mess you're going to have to deal with and you're afraid of it, but you move into it anyway. You get some information, news, messages by taking those baby steps that kind of lift that up for you. You either get help from doing that, or you're asking for help and it is there for you. Somebody's there to help you in an actual concrete, hands-on, this is how you deal with the details kind of way. And at the end of the month, there's some unexpected surprises, some happy surprises and unexpected blessings. It could be connected with home and family and celebratory energy that have you feeling very stable and abundant. It could be in connection with an earth sign person. But I think for a lot of you, the energy at the end of the month is that you've worked hard, you've walked into what you were afraid of, and you're either better off than you thought you were, or you have a plan now to deal with what's in front of you. You've already begun moving into it, and you're feeling like a good, grounded, capable, reliable, responsible member of society again, and you're really enjoying that energy and enjoying the connection you have with friends and family and home, the support and that love, that simple joy and joyful gratitude from it as well. Your overall energy is the Three of Pentacles, which is about working with other people, being with other people in order to achieve something. It's compromise and negotiation. It's the artisanship card too. It's about taking pride and joy in the things that we create, particularly in an earthly, concrete sort of way. And it's about working with other people. This is a teamwork card. It's not a solo energy. In other tarot decks, they're often seen with other people. Creating something, even if you don't always agree on how something needs to be done, this card represents that there's a goal, something that needs to be achieved, done, fixed, dealt with, you know, whatever it is that you're feeling stuck in at the beginning of the month. But this is not something you're going to be doing on your own. So remember, the magician sometimes has a hard time working with other people, or, you know, even when he asks advice, sometimes he has a hard time taking it. This is about compromise, negotiation, working with other people, because there's something that needs to happen. Something needs to be dealt with, done, created, achieved, fixed. And you're going to achieve this by working with other people, compromise, negotiation, listening to other advice and guidance, and taking that. And it's really going to pay off for you, I think, in a really big way. And at the end of the month, you're going to be really glad, really happy, and really grateful for the process that you've gone through, for having the courage and the strength to kind of walk into whatever it is that you may have been afraid at the beginning of the month of dealing with. The help is there, and I think everything's going to work out just fine for you, Leo. So that pretty much wraps up your February 2018 general reading. I hope you've enjoyed it, that you found it helpful. If you haven't, check your rising and your moon sign videos as well. They may play out a little more predictably for you at the beginning of the month. And again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on that About button for more information and my contact details, which you will also find attached to the description of all of the videos I post. Email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I do readings full-time and a variety of them as well, so I'm pretty good at scheduling personal readings with you within 2 weeks or so. It can be anywhere from a few days upwards of 2 to 3 weeks, but almost always within that block of time. And for those of you who are just looking for, you just have a quick question or two and you're just looking for a quick answer, or quick answers to some things you don't want the more intensive reading, you can find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. That link is also with my other contact information. So I will see you all again in a few weeks for the February 2018 mid-month readings. Until then, Leo, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon.